vodka.
What do you mean?
Why?
Oh my God.
Why are you laughing?
I'm Kim.
And I'm Jackie.
So welcome, guys. What the fuck has been going on this week, Jackie?
We're clearly already hot messes. We've been partaking in some beverages already.
Yeah.
Should we jump right in and tell them what we're drinking?
Sure. We
wait,
have it. It's
but since they can see it, I'm guessing they want to know.
Hey
They
guys.
wanna know.
Hey. So I am drinking a mojito.
A vodka mojito, though.
Mm-hmm. I don't fuck around with that rum shit. That's weird.
I know. The name of the podcast, guys, with vodka.
Mm-hmm. Just gotta chew on those mint leaves. Yeah, get real weird with it.
It's like freshen up, just rub it on your teeth and your gums.
I'm like, oh.
I'm drinking vodka with what's that kind of water that I don't like? The bubbly water, the sparkling water?
Yeah.
And with some fresh fruit in it. Vitamin C.
Oh my goodness. So this is our bonus episode.
Because it's number
20.
20.
So,
who would have thought that somebody would want to listen to us this long?
Yeah, we've made it 20 episodes. So we decided we'd show our faces.
I know. We really don't want to be doing this, guys.
But here we are, This is what you get. This is what you get. Don't throw a fit, okay?
You get what you get and you don't get upset, okay?
That's what my mom used to say to me. I was like, I want everything, Mom.
And to be fair, Kim always got upset.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well,
Kim was a brat.
it's her fault for spoiling me. I don't
True
like,
story, but you were a brat. And I'd always be over there like, man, can't you just say thank you and let's keep it moving?
Well, when you have 9 kids in your family, it's like...
I know. I was like, it was like Disneyland all the time with you guys. Like, oh, we got to go do these fun things. And
I'm like, I want the Oklahoma movie and My Little Pony. And Jackie's like, can't you just take the My Little Pony and let's fucking get out of here? This is embarrassing.
Yes. I was basically like a 30-year-old woman when I was like 10.
Yeah, well,
A 30-year-old woman with lots of kids that she didn't want.
It is like really cringy to look back though and be that big of a fucking brat. And like you see kids now, like I see kids now all the time and I'm like, ugh, I couldn't have possibly been that big of a little shit, right? Like, but yeah, I probably was.
But also to be fair, like it wasn't fun to be like the poor grandchild that didn't have anything. I was like, I would love to go anywhere with anybody. Yeah. I would have been a prime victim for kidnapping.
Yeah. And then Jackie was like, we would have biscuits and gravy. And I remember you were like, you fucking hated biscuits and gravy. And
just from, your mom used to get them from Hardee's in the morning. And now literally just when somebody says Hardee's, it makes me want to vomit in my mouth.
I act like I don't like it. I'm like, ugh. But if I was hungover as shit, oh my God, bring it to me in bed, Danny. Bring it to me in bed.
Is Hardee's still open?
It is. Mm-hmm. It's still a thing.
It shouldn't be. It should not be based off of their biscuits and gravy. No, so we didn't finish the story.
Okay.
For the people who don't know.
Oh, yeah. Tell the people in the back.
So Kim's mom, I basically, if anybody doesn't know, like I used to like basically live with Kim and her mom because it was so fun. Like I got to escape the zoo that I lived in because there were 11 people living in our house and, we had 9 kids. And so it was fun to hang out with Kim and her mom. And her mom would always stop and get us Hardee's before we'd go take care of their horses, especially in the morning.
Yeah.
And she would get biscuits and gravy, and I hated them. But I was raised to, like, you just eat it and don't say anything. And
but
so,
it's like, what the fuck is that?
So I never said, it actually would make me want to vomit, and I would still, like, choke it down and be like, thank you.
And she recently told Sue this, and my mom was like, why didn't you ask for something else? You could have had the world. Well, the world as far as Hardee's menu goes.
I feel like they probably had pancakes.
Yeah, anything besides
that
biscuits
was,
and gravy.
You know what? That's a really good example of closed mouths don't get fed. Or they do get fed fucking biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, apparently.
They don't fucking want.
What was the other thing we would get? The pina coladas.
Yes.
My mom loves coconut. I love coconut. I feel like you either do or you don't. There's no in between.
Is pina colada actually coconut flavor?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't know. But you do not like pina coladas.
They used to stop me at pina colada slushies from that one gas station also by the farm. Mm-hmm. Like when we'd go to the farm because they had horses and we'd go see the horses, take care of them. And
I loved them. She didn't love them. She should have spoke up. I don't know.
I should have. You know how many times I looked so longingly at that cherry slushy, like,
oh my God, why didn't you just, I don't know.
I know.
Says the girl who fucking was a big brat. I would have definitely spoke up if I didn't like something. Meh.
But you know what? You live and you learn.
You do. Now
That's
you're
why-
not afraid to say that you don't like something.
That's why now I'm very vocal about what I do and do not
That's
like.
the reason.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize I could blame you and your mom for that.
You could.
Awesome. I'm gonna go with
Cool.
it.
Cool.
I'm gonna go with it.
Cool. So, what is the good word? What's going on this week?
Oh,
What have you been doing?
well, I hate to lay it on us heavy, but
Okay. But you're
so
gonna.
I am. I came across, and maybe other people who like podcasts read it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what month in this year it came out, but it's a Vanity Fair article from this year,
Oh,
and it's kind of talking about. Well, it's not kind of. It absolutely is talking about podcasts.
Oh,
and
is this the one that we talked or that we
Yeah.
read the other day?
And
Okay,
for any
yeah.
of you guys who haven't watched it or read it, it's actually they're talking specifically about murder podcasts.
Yeah,
true crime.
True crime
True crime.
podcasts. Yeah.
And they name a lot of big name podcasts like Crime Junkies, My Favorite Murder, and I don't want to. Like,
Which I love both of those podcasts,
Yes,
by
Kim is-
the way.
I
Huge
love.
fan.
I'm a huge Crime
Huge
Junkie
fan.
fan. Love Crime Junkie.
Yeah.
So the article is actually called "Our True Crime Podcast Ready for the Hashtag Defend the Police Era."
Oh.
And it was published on July 9th of this year. The author is Marissa Meltzer. So she actually makes some good points in there, I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, like Kim and I were, she had sent it to me and I was like, oh my God, I feel like this is kind of like shitting on our podcast or like just on our style.
Just, yeah.
Because
for sure.
she kind of talks about, the author kind of talks about, okay, well, true crime podcasts love to talk about true crime and like do a quick little shebang, have their funny talk. And then she kind of alluded to the fact that maybe they weren't doing justice to the victims. And I can totally see where she's coming from. I understand
Yeah.
that. But, and she like mentioned another podcast that actually goes and works with a police department and investigates and actually really does the physical work of trying to solve things. And the only thing that I kind of was like a little bitter about is I was like, yes, we would love to do that. Like that would be
Yeah.
our dream to like partner with the Omaha Police Department and go out and
Yeah, in a
but-
perfect world.
Yes.
If we didn't have full-time jobs
Yes.
and we had the
And
time.
if we had the resources
yes,
to, like, connect with them.
Absolutely. That
'Cause
is.
I don't know who we would call and be like, hey, I heard there's something crazy happened. Can I come?
Well, I mean, it wasn't probably dedicated in our direction.
No, it definitely was
but
not.
But it is something that you have to like, maybe be in the position to like fully understand.
Right. She wasn't being negative and saying like podcasts like ours are stupid or anything like that. It was just, she was kind of alluding to the fact that there needs to be like, it needs to be taken more seriously, which,
Yeah.
I know we like joke and drink and stuff, but we're just so good at those things.
Yeah.
But we always do. Like, I know we say it even like in recording, but even when we're talking about the stories after we record, we're like, oh my gosh, can you imagine? Like, I know we empathize with the families as much as we can.
Always. I mean, I try to look at every single case that I cover as if it's something or someone that I know personally. I even the criminals, sometimes I am just like, hey, you're a fucking bad person. But
But like we even try to understand like, well, what made them this kind of person? Like
like the psychology.
I don't have my psychology degree like readily available, but
Yeah. So
I actually couldn't even. I actually was cleaning up my office the other day and came
Were you?
across my college like diploma. Do you call it a diploma or degree?
Degree?
Do you call it a diploma? Well, the actual like print they give you.
so
Degree.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's where I put this. It was like shoved into a drawer in the back. I was like, oh.
I'm like, where is that? Because I never got one of those.
Oh, good thing because you know what? They're worthless.
Oh, no. They're not. But it depends
Stay in
on your
school.
field.
Be cool.
Stay in school. Stay in school.
It does depend on your
Yeah,
field.
absolutely. I mean,
And I feel like in the next 10 years, Stephen always says, as Steve-O says, that, they're going to need tradesmen in the next 10 years because a lot of people aren't doing the trades.
absolutely. Yeah.
So, like, electricians, plumbers, like, I feel like that's where money's going to be at.
there you go, guys.
It's my plan
Little
B.
insight from
Plan
Jacqueline
B.
over here.
I'm just saying, I like to go on record so that if I am right, I can be like, I told you so. And if I'm wrong, I'll be like, you know what? That's some old shit. Like, stop bringing up old shit.
One thing I wanted to talk about today is something I mentioned on episode 18. I was talking about how we all need to make sure we're tipping our servers more than normal right now, because obviously with COVID, people are not everyone is comfortable going out. Not everybody is comfortable, especially, I mean, I know in other states other than Nebraska, people are definitely not comfortable. But in Nebraska, not everyone is comfortable. Things never totally shut down, but like, guys, we have to think about our servers, our bartenders, like I mentioned. Something that I found out recently, and I had no idea that this had went on since 1991, is that the server wage, at least in our state, has been $2.13 an hour since 1991.
I thought it was like $5 at least or something.
With that being said, like if you go out to a corporate restaurant, any corporate restaurant, 9 times out of 10, I can't guarantee this, but most of them, the servers that come up to your table, the bartenders, the bussers, they are making $2.13 an hour.
Oh, wow.
Specifically, maybe not the bussers and the bartenders, but specifically the servers. So if you get mad and you decide to tip shitty, it's not a good fucking call. Like, we need to be better.
Absolutely.
To our servers. So just, I'm not telling you what to do in your life, actually, but just remember that they're making $2 an hour. And before now, that was less than a gallon of gas.
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, because what is
I don't know what it is now.
I think it's like $1.90. Yeah.
But shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. Like, we have to be better. Like,
we're
people
looking
need to.
At Steven.
I know it's just. I know. I'm like, Danny's recording. Steven is over there hiding out. Hey, Steve-O. Calling him out.
Steven made us a delicious dinner before we started.
He did. Tacos. Yeah.
So. We're both like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Clearly,
we like food. We like food. Guys. Sorry.
Oh, but going back to the waiter thing, and I agree. First of all, I think that their minimum wage should be raised significantly.
Absolutely.
But here's the other thing that's kind of like, what do you do in this predicament when you go out and you are a good customer, but they're not a great server? Maybe, like, I'm not saying if they're like just not, if they're subpar, but I'm like, what if they're very rude or things like that? Like, do you still feel obligated to tip the 20 to 25% or?
I don't know. I've been in the industry too long. I always do. Actually, like, if you're a dick, it actually makes me want to tip more. I don't know why I am the way that I am.
That too.
But I'm like, oh, really? Oh, you think you're not going to get oh, you're judging me? Oh, okay, I'm going to show you. But that's probably not how I mean, in my head, it plays out differently than it probably comes across. But I don't know, guys. Like, I just think it's better to just be better, right? Be the bigger person.
Yeah.
Even when it's tough, it's usually the better option, especially right now with everything we're dealing with. People are, like, everyone is on high alert. Everyone has anxiety right now. People who don't normally, like, I'm over here like, oh, you guys are anxious? That's a normal day of my life pre-COVID. I was anxious before it was cool to be anxious. That's a joke, guys. Seriously, anxiety is a real thing, and I feel really bad for people who are struggling with it as bad as I have my entire fucking life. I just think we got to, like, try to lift each other up is where I'm going with that.
Take care of each other. Well, so, like, I just think just in general, COVID or not, if you don't want to tip a waiter, don't go out to eat. Go to Taco Bell because you don't have to tip them. Yeah. And actually, I have tipped at Taco Bell's drive-thru before.
Oh, I bet they loved it.
I will not say how much I had drank before that.
Oh, okay. Well.
But, yeah, I have tipped, and they're very appreciative.
For sure.
Because one guy, like, sang my order back to me, and I was like, you know what? That deserves some money. I actually think
he was like, thank you, Jacqueline.
He really did. He really was like singing back to me, like, oh, let me see how much cash I got.
Oh shit!
It really was. I think I gave him like $10. He totally deserved it.
God, I had something funny happen the other day. I work in like the downtown Omaha area. You know, I mentioned before that I'm in the dental field, but I was traveling to work, and there's a lot of homeless people down there, and I usually stop and give them something. I know they don't want fucking food. They want money. And I ain't mad at them either because I like to drink. I understand. But I'm like, guys, I'm going to give you this McDonald's gift card. It's across the street. You should probably do something with it. You know, I was like, fuck, I'm getting chicken nuggets anyway. Might as well give them some chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
But the other day, my coworker and I went to lunch, and we were picking up our boss some lunch, and we were rolling through Sonic, and I was like, I saw this little homeless guy, and he's always sleeping on the street with a cart, and he kind of looks like my cousin, his face. So I was like, God, I'm like partial to this guy. And most of the time when I see him, he's completely passed out on the road, or not on the road, but on the sidewalk. And like I said, he's got a little cart with him, and I just feel for him. I don't know if he lives outside or if he goes to like the homeless shelter during the night or what.
Hopefully he does.
But he is always assed out during the day. So we were going to Sonic anyways, and I was like, I'm going to get him a cheeseburger, some tots, and a slushie because it was real hot out.
Oh, you get him a good slushie, but I get the pina colada one. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
my God. Bringing up old shit, bringing up old shit, don't let it go. But
anyways, continue.
I had to sing a song about it. But long story short, guys, I was like, I don't know what slushie we should get. I can't make a decision. My coworker was like, pick the slushie. And she chose blue raspberry. I was like,
oh, that's
good choice,
too.
good choice.
Okay.
So we got him a big old slushie. We drove up. There's not really like a spot. This is like a busy intersection. There's not really a spot where you can just pull over. So my fearless, sweet, empathetic coworker was like, I'm just going to I'll just throw on my hazards and you can just, I was like, so what are we doing? So I mask up and I've got I give him some hand sanitizer, a couple masks, and then I threw that in with a Sonic bag. I was like, so what's my plan? I threw a mask on because I'm like, I don't know if this guy is crazy, if he's going to like, I mean, you know, we're true crime buffs, guys, so anything goes.
Worst, yeah.
So I was like, well, he's probably going to be happy that someone gives him food, right? But not in my mind. I'm like, oh, he might get combative or I don't know. So he's just sleeping, and I roll down the window, and I'm like, hey, you, I got you dinner. Wake up. And he is like assed out, like wouldn't move. And my coworker is like, do you think he might be dead? Is this a good idea? And I was like, I don't know. And there's cars honking as we're on this road that's super busy. And she's like, jump out and put it by him. And so I'm like, okay. I jump out and I just set it by his little space, his little blanket and his cart. And we get back to work and my boss is like, you guys, what if what if he's dead and you guys go to jail? And then I was like, oh my God, I'm going to stress about that for the next 3 hours. So I drove back by and I see him and I'm just going to call him Frank because I have a feeling I'm going to feed Frank.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know, for a while. Like I don't have any kids. I'm going to take care of Frank. Got to take care of somebody. So I decided that, yeah.
Frank's going to be your person.
So, yeah,
did you see him when you went back by?
So where I was going with that, is we're driving by and I see fucking Frank. And do you think he's got his fucking mask on I gave him? Think he's got his hand sanitizer out? No, he's pushing his cart. He's hanging out with all of his buddies. They're like at a close distance. They're talking. I'm like, Frank is gangster. But
Frank is savage.
And then I saw his Sonic bag like in the trash next to where he was sitting, and I was like, all right, he ate his lunch. He's good. I can sleep tonight. So that's my week.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean to tell that long.
No, that's
a story.
Well, it brings up a good point because I actually had to, I've been unfriending a lot of people on Facebook lately.
Oh, shit.
With shit going down. I see one ignorant post, I'm like, done, bye. But one was, honestly, I can't even remember his name, so it's not like I could bust him out. But it was like somebody I knew posted a video of a homeless person at their business establishment. And kind of like spoke negatively about him, like, oh, they're going to bring down our business. And then an Omaha police officer commented on it and was saying, like, basically talking poorly about basically all homeless people and like grouping them in one large group, saying that they're terrible. And I just posted real quick on there, and it's true. I was like, a lot of people are homeless. It's not that they're like they're not all substance abusers. Like a lot of them have mental health issues that are not being addressed. And part of it is because our state doesn't care as much as they should, and maybe doesn't have as many resources. But
yeah, that could be it.
but we do. I think Nebraska actually is getting a little bit better, and the Med Center is actually opening a new mental health facility, which is going to be great. But people don't realize, like, it's not like they want to be. It's like they have these unaddressed mental health issues. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's because their mental health prevents them from seeking the treatment they need.
Yeah.
But just the fact that an Omaha police officer said these ignorant things, I was like, that's scary because they're the ones who are going to come in contact with those people.
Yeah.
And like, how are they going to treat them? And
I don't know.
You know, like,
it's a really big.
It's tough. It's tough.
Like a problem in our country in general that has to be resolved, but it's like, where do you even go with that?
I mean, I'm not even going to pretend to know the answer to
that. And that's like, as you're talking, I'm thinking about how I was talking about Frank.
No, but I think like you're being empathetic to him. Like, a lot of people would just look at him and be like, ugh, he must be homeless because he's this. Or
well, I don't understand how people can, but like, there again, like, you can't expect people to think the way you do. I see it every day on my way home.
Yeah, because your work is really surrounded by
I'm like, what is he doing? And like I said, maybe it's ridiculous, but he kind of reminds me of my cousin a little bit. And, you know, he appearance wise, and I just think, God, like, if that, you know, it's naturally to feel empathetic to someone who, you know, maybe looks like your relative or whatever. But in general, I think, you know, I don't know. I just don't think it's that hard to help people out every once in a while. Who am I to judge him for, you know, maybe wanting cash instead? Oh, we did throw $5 in there too.
Oh, that was
so
nice.
I hope he fucking grabbed
He got a whole care package.
He did a little bit, you know.
That's nice.
And whatever. Frank, he looked like he was doing all right. I was just happy to see him alive because I was like, and as soon as
and then you're like, oh shit, what are my fingerprints on?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, damn it. When my boss said that, I was like,
You're like, it's a busy intersection. There's cameras somewhere.
But I seriously think he may have just
been tired.
Well, no, I think he was probably pretending to be asleep when I walked up because, I mean, to be fair, I'm sure people walk by, yell, whatever. I don't know what happens to him. I can't even begin to know, but I just felt like, you know, he was like a little too proud to accept something and have to have a face-to-face conversation because I am not fucking quiet.
I didn't even think about that. That's a good
And
point.
I was fucking yelling. I was like, bye, bye. Because I knew he was asleep, and I was honestly...
She ain't quiet.
I was in my anxious feelings about us being stopped in the middle of an intersection. I'm like, I like Frank. Frank's a good guy, but is this worth it?
Is it safe?
I even had a master plan. I was like, if he has... You know, I was like telling my coworker, I'm like, if he runs up on the car, just start going. Just fucking start going. I was like, I will toss the food and go. But anyway, I don't know, guys.
This is totally getting off track, but when anybody uses the term runs up on, regardless of the context, I think that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, what if he was like, hey, you, don't hey me. I don't know. And I mean, you know, I'm not in any way making fun of anyone who is mentally ill.
We know
you just
that.
never know. He could have been triggered. I don't know, guys.
Well,
Anyways, I don't mean to.
You did a good thing,
and I'm not trying to, you know, get sympathy for my, you know, I did an act of kindness. But I think we all need to just be kinder to each other right now.
You did
like,
a good
fuck,
thing.
it's way easier to do that.
Take a page from that book. Let's
you know, we all just need to be better in some ways.
I know. I need to be better in so many ways.
So many ways.
Let me count the ways.
I don't know. I wanted to recommend a couple podcasts.
Sorry, my mic is vibrating.
I think.
Mostly because I hit it with my drink in hand.
On the subject of the service industry, there's a podcast called Sidework Podcast, and they are fucking hilarious. If you're a server, bartender.
You've had me listen to a couple bits of those.
Oh, my God. They're so great. They're funny. One of them is, I think, from the Omaha area. It's two girls, and she talks one of the girl from Omaha always talks about restaurants in Omaha, working at the College World Series. She's always like dropping little things about.
Does she call out the restaurants by name?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I can't remember anything specifically because
you
don't want to
juicy shit.
Well, nothing. I mean, if it's like they do talk about like headlines, like if there's something crazy that happened in restaurants, they will name drop because they're obviously in the news. But like, no, they're very classy ladies. And like I said, if you're a bartender or a server, and they have servers write in with stories, and it's fucking great. Like,
can you imagine the shit that servers?
Oh my God!
Like that they have to deal with and see.
Yeah.
I'm like, can you imagine the shit they do behind the scenes? Like, I mean, I haven't seen the whole movie. What's that movie? Waiting.
Oh my God! It's not as bad as I mean, you really shouldn't fuck with people who make your food, but like that shit is exaggerated.
But we went to a restaurant this week, Steve and I, with his sons, and I got a steak salad, and I asked for it to be like medium well, because I don't really like pink meat. It came back, even Steven likes his stuff rare. Even Steven was like, that is like half still alive. So I had to do the thing where I was like, could you take this back and just cook it? I was nice about it.
And they hated you.
But then they, like, all the boys at our table were like, you're not going to eat that now, are you? Like, you know what they're going to do. And when it came out, it was still too rare. And I was like, you know what? That's fine. I didn't need steak. I didn't need steak in my life today.
I think if you're decent, if you're like a decent person.
Oh, I was nice about it.
It's not, I don't know, guys.
Yeah.
The other podcast I wanted to recommend is called Committed, the Committed podcast. Ooh. It is so, prepare to cry because it hits you in all the feels. God, I fucking love it though.
What is it about?
It's basically about couples that go through crazy shit in their life. Like it'll be someone who's battling terminal brain cancer, or they did like a episode where there were 2 Boston bombing survivors, the Boston Marathon.
Oh, I think, didn't they make a movie about that couple?
Probably.
I think they made a movie. I could be wrong, but I think that they did.
It's just like they cover so many different topics. If you have like any love in your heart and you feel like getting all up in with your feelings, check them out. It's very good.
Do they have the people come on and tell them, or is it like host?
Yeah, it's stories? A host, and she interviews the couples. Oh, yeah, it's really great.
Like that's like
those are my recommendations for the week.
I don't like to watch. Well, I do it to myself. Like, you know how you see those Facebook posts that people are sharing, and it's like, you know, like soldiers coming home and surprising their family, and it's like the caption is like, "You're gonna cry." I'm like, "Oh, I would love to do this right now," and I always do it in like a public place. I'm like, "Oh my god."
Oh my god!
Like, this was a mistake. Why did I do this? And once you watch one, you got to keep going. You can't just watch one and be done.
I'm sorry. It makes me think of Trey Kennedy's Karen video. No.
I'm not gonna. I like Trey Kennedy. I like his.
I love some Trey Kennedy.
I do, but I think the ones that were like right at the beginning of COVID were my favorite. Mm-hmm. When he was like bros during COVID,
just because it was extremely relatable. Like, yes, he's
or like the couples during COVID was so relatable. Mm-hmm. Like it's not you breathing; it's the way you breathe.
Steve, you know, he was probably.
I can relate to
yeah,
that.
Steve-O. I don't know. Shit.
Steven, look, you guys.
Quarantine is hard.
Steven is actually in the room with us. We always talk about how he doesn't listen to us, and we're totally not lying. He's actually in the room with us, and he's
has
still
to
not
listen
listening.
today.
No, he's still not. I'm like looking over him, thinking he'll be looking back, and he's like,
listening. It's fine. He listens. He listens all the time.
He might have secret headphones in. I don't know. He might. Okay. Well, should we get into here?
Should I jump in? I feel like I need another drink.
Let's freshen your glass.
All right, guys. I'm going to tell you a crazy story today.
I'm ready for it.
This one is a little close to home. It's someone very close to me.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a kind of a personal story.
I'm upset that you kept this from me, but keep going.
Well, I got to keep it real. Got to keep it real.
Now I'm excited. Now I'm excited to be excited. Okay.
All right. So I'm going to tell you about the disappearance of Hemmy Lee Moore. Okay, so his real name is Wynant Hemmy Lee, Hemmy is his nickname. So Wynant Lee Moore was born in Washington, D.C. He was one of 3 kids, and he had a sister and 2 brothers. I don't have his birth date. Couldn't find it. Sorry.
That's okay.
Strange, I know, but we couldn't find it. His father was a businessman, and he had ties to the government. Hemmy was said to be very intelligent, and he had actually had his IQ tested. I don't know what it was, but it was very high. And he was also, he was kind of good looking, athletic. He was said to be a very charismatic guy.
He was like the whole package.
Yeah, like
the whole package.
Rawr.
Like Steve over there. Rawr. Steven's still not listening.
Rawr, Steven.
As we're literally growling at him and he's not listening.
All right.
Keep going with Hemmy.
So Hemmy, back to Hemmy. He was said to be very, charismatic. He had the James Dean charisma, according to
I never met
one
Jimmy
of my
Dean,
sources.
but
yeah, I know.
He sure was handsome.
He was. So, much like his father, they were, they were like manly men. Okay. He was always up for, and I should mention that this takes place in the 60s and 70s, guys. So mainly in the 70s.
Okay, so you could think like DC, 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was always up for like an arm wrestle competition, like really just any kind of competition.
Anything to seem like he was like the alpha male type thing. Okay.
Oh yeah,
We all know those kinds of guys.
He was, like I said, very good looking, athletic, and he was honestly liked by most people that encountered him. Like everyone had good things to say about him. His family moved to Dallas, where Hemmy attended high school, and things started to get a little shuffled upon their move to Texas. Hemmy's father cheated on his mother and moved away to Kansas with another woman, right off the bat.
Damn, Hemmy's father.
Fucking men. Not all men, not Danny or Steven, but fuck most men. God.
But sometimes Danny and Steven. We're kidding,
No.
We're kidding, guys. We love you.
Oh, my God.
Steven's still not listening.
What? All right. So. Hemmy's father.
Left and went to Kansas.
Yep.
With the girl. Okay.
So obviously this left his mother to struggle with 3 kids, which caused them to live in an orphanage for a while, unfortunately, because she couldn't afford to take care of them. But they eventually moved as a family to Kentucky at some point. And I believe his family was from that area. So he had some uncles that basically were like father figures to him, and they kind of filled that void for him, which was good. So Hemmy he joined the Air Force, and he was stationed at Offutt in 1963. So I'm guessing that probably put him in his like teenage years, or
late
years,
teens.
but like 1920, something like that.
And for anybody who doesn't know, Offutt is, it's Omaha-ish. It's like Bellevue, but it's literally basically
Bellevue,
Omaha.
In Bellevue, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Essentially. So while he was in the Omaha, Bellevue area, which, Bellevue is a suburb of Omaha, Nebraska. While he was in Omaha, he met a gorgeous lady named Rose. The first night they met, he followed her around like a puppy dog, according to Rose. Damn. These two dated for 6 to 9 months, and then Rose ended up getting pregnant. Around that time, unfortunately, Hemmy was discharged from the Air Force for having flat feet issues.
Which,
I guess.
I've heard that people do get discharged from that. Had in the past. I don't know if they still do.
This was crazy. 1963. I think it's important to remember that. It was 1963.
That's crazy.
I don't know. 1964-ish.
Like they didn't see his feet when he first got there?
I don't know. It was causing a lot of pain, so he was medically discharged. But at any rate, he was released, and he went back down to Texas, where apparently half of his heart was with a family friend. And he decided... a female, yes. He decided to marry her.
All my exes live in Texas type thing?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, girl. Yes.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I heard that.
Well, they ended up just getting married and having a couple babies. They had twins. So pretty quickly.
What happened to Rose?
Hold on. Wait for it.
I'm like, poor Rose.
Well, unfortunately, one of their babies died at birth. Oh, and the other one died not long after, days. So their twins died
Lord, that's
for
terrible.
unspecified health reasons, but Obviously, that took like a major toll on Hemmy and his wife. Meanwhile, Rose was raising their baby girl, Donna Lee, back in Omaha. Rose was obviously not happy with Hemmy for just
up and leaving
flying
her.
the coop.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Literally flying the coop because he's the Air Force guy.
Yeah.
I see you, Hemmy. I see you.
I don't know. I try not to judge anybody. I don't know their situation, but like it's kind of shitty of him. So Rose basically like sent him a letter that said "Go to hell," and
Good for her.
which later on, when she was raising her daughter and he wasn't there, and she needed that support, she regretted saying those things.
Like kind of
'Cause
writing him
Rose
off.
is, yeah.
But also, she shouldn't have because it wasn't her fault that he left.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But she had reasons for feeling this way. Like when she found, I mean, obviously she had a baby with someone and they left, but like when he left and she had the baby, apparently his other Air Force friends threw her like a baby shower, and like one of I think it was a baby shower. I could be wrong on that, but they like were very much there for her. And I know that one of them got her a wedding band to wear because in the 60s it was very, I mean, it's different than now, like having a baby out of wedlock. Like,
oh, so like just
so
kind of
just to,
protect
like,
her, make her feel better.
Make her feel better.
That's
So,
very sweet.
Yeah, his friends. Too bad he wasn't there to, but I don't know. I think that's where the resentment came from. With her.
My letter would have said a lot more than fuck you.
Lucky it wasn't Jackie.
There would have been pictures, graphics, everything.
Little images of a knife going into your chest.
Yeah.
All right. A little drawing of your new wife. I don't know.
Yes.
All right, we're crazy, guys. Back to the story. Hemmy and his wife moved to Kentucky after the loss of their babies. Hemmy was living life in the fast lane at this point. He was harvesting hemp in the fields of Paris, Kentucky. Ooh. And there was some, in addition to like hemp and marijuana, there were some allegations allegedly that maybe he was mixed in with the wrong crowd, maybe some drugs. So that was not helping his cause. But
when you say hemp, like, and I'm being serious, is that the same thing as marijuana, or is it like, because I know hemp is different?
Are different.
So the hemp wasn't being used as a drug.
No,
it was being used for material.
Well, it must have been. I can't vouch for the 60s.
Right.
I don't know specifically what type of hemp, or if it was maybe possibly marijuana too, because his German Shepherd dog, Clyde, was supposed to be standing guard. So obviously what they were doing was a little bit shady. Because,
they like trying to protect it.
He wasn't the best at guarding, and the cops approached the area while they were harvesting this hemp and bagging it, and probably marijuana too, I'm guessing. This is all allegedly, guys. We don't have a lot of information on this case, but I do know that this particular article made national news because Clyde was supposed to be standing guard, and the cops approached, and he made zero noise, and he was like a German Shepherd mix, so I think he was supposed to be.
Don't blame the dog.
I know, but
jeez,
so like he ended up getting in trouble for that. But like I said, Hemmy wasn't always like a rule follower. He was the man that would jump a fence and swim with dolphins, which allegedly that was one thing that he did at a zoo. I heard from like he jumped into
in
this
Omaha. Where are you doing that?
No,
or
no.
Even
I think this was down south somewhere. You know,
Okay.
like I said, he had hopped around from like the Kentucky area and Texas, so I'm guessing it was somewhere in that area. But his friends. This is just a story I heard from someone that was close to him. Like his friends were like, "Hey, go swim." Like they would just. It sounds like he was a little bit.
Like he would
honestly,
take the challenge.
Kind of like I was kind of like that in my fucking 20s. Like, oh, you say I won't do that. Say I won't do it. I'll fucking do it. Like, say I won't throw that coaster and have it hit that girl in the head. Like shit like that. I mean, little different than jumping the fence and swimming with dolphins.
I heard dolphins are gentle though. Except they
hope so.
they try to have sex with humans. They do.
Woo!
They do
What?
because Dolphins am I right? I feel like Steven knows this. Yes, dolphins are the only other mammal that have sex for pleasure. And they do sometimes try to have sex with the humans that swim with them. Anyways, but I don't know if that happened to Hemmy.
We ain't nothing but mammals?
Oh my God, that's a terrible fucking song.
We are always referencing songs. I thought that was funny. It was not funny. Okay. Thanks, Steven.
Steven thought it was funny too.
All right.
Okay, so he was the daredevil. Okay, we got it.
You know, that was one thing he did among other shenanigans. It was then in December 1970, Hemmy and his wife split up. Probably because, you know, all the
shenanigans.
Yeah, his shenanigans. You know, Hemmy.
Because he's sleeping around those damn dolphins.
God. I don't know. Who knows? So, Hemmy, not long after that, had another run-in with the law. A couple years, actually. Ooh. In 1972, Hemmy went to a concert, and he got a little high. 60s, guys. 70s.
Still, yeah.
We're in the 70s. I keep saying 60s.
Doing it.
Yeah. So unfortunately, he ended up in a car with some miners, and they wanted to blow up a bridge.
Oh, okay. You went from getting high to doing some real crazy shit.
Hold on. Hear me out. 70s, remember.
Okay.
So it was this bridge apparently was bad for the animals and the environment. I don't know. My source was explaining it to me, but it was something along the lines of like, you know, this was the time where there was a lot of like rioting and
right. There were a lot of movements.
It was very hippity dippity.
Yeah. And hippity dippity is actually the perfect term for that.
So like
decade.
shit was going down, and like, you know, they were a little high. And,
what that bridge
but so you know, he was basically at the wrong place at the wrong time. So they thought, hey, let's get rid of this bridge. And so they broke into an armory and got busted. And unfortunately, Hemmy was the only adult, and he ended up taking the fall for it. You know, it makes me think of my early 20s, and I would go to these parties. And, like, I remember looking around, and I was like, damn, I don't know if that person is old enough. I got to get the fuck out of here.
Steve and I do that at the bar now because that's what makes us feel old. That's how you know you're old. When we go to bars, we're like, that person's old enough to fucking drink here? We're like,
but they probably are old enough.
And we're like, really? Because that looks like a baby. That looks like somebody's baby just walked into the bar.
Oh, fuck. It's fucking. Yeah, the shit's getting real, guys. Enjoy your youth because it creeps up on you.
Oh,
you know old age shit.
What is that quote? My dad always says, fuck, I can't name the guy who has it, but it is a real quote. And he always says, my dad always says, youth is wasted on the young. And that is so true. Think on it, guys. Think on it.
Your dad is a damn.
I mean, he didn't come up with that quote. It's actually from a famous poet. I'll post it on our Facebook.
Your dad, he's a bright man, though. All right. So, in 1973, Hemmy was age 29 at the time. So I guess you could maybe go back and do some math to figure out when his birthday is, but I'm not doing it, guys. So
that means he's born in 1944. So he's
Holy
my dad.
Shit. Okay.
So he's my dad's. He's 70. He would be 76 today.
Yeah.
Depending when his birthday was. Yeah.
All right. In 1973, Hemmy, age 29, at the time ended up getting involved with a girl who was a student at the university in Kentucky.
Oh, he likes them young. Okay, Hemmy, I'm not into that.
I don't know how old she was. She was a college student.
He also got caught with those miners when they were trying to blow up the bridge.
Okay. Don't be judging him.
I'm just saying.
Like you haven't been there before.
No, I have not ever tried to blow up a bridge. Just for the record, I have never tried to blow up a bridge.
All right. Oh, and you probably didn't drink with minors either that you were aware of. Okay. Anyways, back to it.
Back to Hemmy, though. He fell in love with this girl at the university.
Yes. And they were engaged to be married in June of 74. So a little over a year after he met her.
Okay.
So on Labor Day weekend, June 1st, 1974, about a week before he planned his wedding, or before his wedding was was
going to happen, yeah.
Yes. Hemmy's new fiance dropped him off at the Natural Bridge Resort State Park. More specifically at Mill Creek Lake. And he was dropped off for some camping and relaxation.
By himself?
Yes. Natural Bridge is about 2,500 acres and is surrounded by the Daniel Boone National Forest. Sorry, Hemmy, you lost me there. Ain't nobody dropping me off at a fucking national forest by myself.
And especially think he's not going to have a cell phone. You know, this is the 70s.
70s.
Like, he doesn't have a cell phone. The best he has probably is a paper map.
He definitely doesn't have a cell phone. But yeah, like
even if you drop me somewhere off with a cell phone, I'm like, no, I need to know, what is the service like in here? What's my reception like? How many bars do I have?
Well, little different time, you know.
Absolutely. I'm sure he just got dropped off with like a paper map, honestly.
Mm-hmm. This place is very beautiful. It's surrounded by tall sandstone, and it has a lot of natural beauty. This was Hemmy's like happy place. It sounds like he was a little bit of an introvert, you know, where you.
So he kind of just wanted to have that alone time before he got married.
Yeah, it sounds like he would go there to recharge. It was said, I was told that he was very much like, he didn't like a lot of the city, like when train tracks drove by or like ambulances drove by, it like really kind of like irritated him. Like it just put him on edge. So like I can understand why going out to a beautiful national forest like that, or you know, sitting by a lake and camping would be comfortable for you. You know, I could see why you'd be like, you know, want to do that. And it sounds like his fiance had like a graduation party that she was going to, and he was just like, take me out, let me go camp for the weekend. So they just had different, you know, interests, like you and Steven do sometimes, right?
All the time.
All right.
Steven's still not listening for anybody.
It's okay. He's listening. All right. So at the time, allegedly, Hemmy was trying to avoid like the toxicity of life, you know, like I said. And from what I heard, he really wanted to play football. Like he was potentially looking at playing football with the Dallas Cowboys.
Really? Okay.
Like he was
like
possibly,
maybe gonna try out?
Yes, was gonna try it. And like he had like a really good shot at getting on the team. But he also, you know, had some, you know, a little bit of drug past, and like he was trying to clean it up. He was going to get married, so like he was
nowadays he'd fit right into the NFL.
Damn, Jackie.
I'm kidding, but I'm not.
But he's like at this point in his life, it sounds like he was really trying to turn it around.
Right.
So
he was looking to the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently, on June 2nd, there were some fishermen that noticed that there were some items on the edge of the lake that had been there for like, I think they maybe drove by like earlier in the day and then saw the items and like went back by, and they were like, whoa, that stuff's still sitting there. That's concerning. Mm-hmm. So at the edge of the lake, they found a wrist brace of some sort, because he had a wrist brace of some sort, a wallet, some clothing items, and a pair of shoes. And that was it. And so, like, they called it in, and at some point, they made the connection that Hemmy had been out there, and those were his things. And so they did an extensive search of the area. Everyone was notified, obviously, and they brought in a search party of over 200 people. They skimmed the lake, found nothing, because they thought maybe he fell in and drowned, or, you know.
Or it sounds like he, like, jumped in for a swim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, taking all your stuff off, like.
But it's important to note that, like, his bag was missing. Like, he had, like, a bag with him. So, like, his clothes and his shoes were there, and his, you know, so, like, maybe he did go swimming. But, like, where the fuck is his bag? His bag was just missing.
But it's like, so if he had gone swimming, left it, maybe somebody picked up his bag to steal it, or I don't know.
We'll get into the theories in a second here.
Oh, you know I love the theories, girl.
But, yeah, I mean, they, like I said, they brought in dogs and...
Wow, so they got on it, though. Like, I like when they get on those search efforts, like, quickly. I like that.
Yeah, but also... I have heard that, like, the family of Hemmy didn't really feel as if they did, like, a good enough search. They thought, like, maybe it was it was more geared towards, like, money.
They just didn't feel like they did justice. Like, maybe they didn't take it as seriously.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. They definitely didn't.
Which, that's not new to many of our stories. Have that kind of, you know, same tone.
Same old story.
Yeah.
Hemmy's uncle, I believe this was one of his uncles that he was really close with, like a father figure. His uncle Ora went to Mill Creek Lake every weekend for over a year Because,
wow.
like, to this day, I can tell you that there is nothing. Like, no one knows where he is.
That's it? He's just...
That's it.
That's it?
Yep. He has never been found. But let me get into a couple theories here.
Oh, all
Okay.
right. Now I'm working my head. You know, I'm always ahead of the game.
Okay, so in that area, like, I want to say, like, an hour and a half away, Lexington, Kentucky. I can't talk, guys. Sorry.
Words are hard.
Words are hard. So in that area, there was the Bluegrass Conspiracy. In a nutshell, it's about, like, the corrupt police department in Lexington. And this was, you know, like I said, an hour and a half away from where Hemmy disappeared. With having somewhat of a troubled past, like, did he witness something? Could he have, like, you know, got taken into witness protection possibly? And then, you know, like I mentioned in the beginning of the story, he has family that had, like, possible ties to the government. So, like, that is a big question with this case is, like, was it possible that he maybe, you know, saw something he shouldn't have? You know, who knows? Another theory is that Hemmy maybe started a new life.
Okay, that's totally where I was going with it. I was like,
yeah.
I hope that's the next one.
Oh, yeah. Like, did he, you know, he was getting married the next week.
And you said he was, like, really sensed, like, he seemed to have, like, these, like, flagrant type tendencies prior to that.
And I will say, like, that I think he was very much like a mysterious man in a lot of ways. And it seems like he maybe kept a lot of his stuff hidden. You know, he was, I wouldn't call him like a ladies' man per se, but he was charismatic, good looking. Like, naturally you're going to attract women. And, you know, if you have a few different women, like, you know, that like you know, maybe, I don't know. I'm not trying to judge the man.
You even said he moved around to, like, a lot of different cities.
I mean,
and, like,
when he was in the Air Force and everything.
Yeah,
like,
but he seems to like younger women. It seems like he's maybe always looking for, like, the new thing. I don't mean that, like, in terms of... Well, I don't mean it in terms of the women. I'm just, like, even before you started with the theories, I was like, oh, what if he just, like, was like, I'm trying to shed this whole me. I don't want to be identified.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
so, like,
leave,
that is a very good... Yeah.
You know.
You know, like I said, he was getting married the next week. You know, there are a lot of things that, you know, I'm not even gonna, like, dig too deep into this, because really what this is about is getting his name out there, and it's really about having people know what happened to him, because it's sketchy, guys. There's something that happened, and there's got to be more answers than he just jumped into the lake and swam and was never... I mean...
Well, even if he did leave and assume another identity, it's like you still want to know, because the people who you left behind in your old life are worried and still thinking about you.
Well, there was just a case like this in Nebraska. I don't remember the details, but, like, this guy started a different life, and I think it was when he, like, passed away. I saw it in the paper, which... I skimmed it, guys. I don't have any of the information, but
like,
it was...
You read the paper, girl? Go for
I know.
You.
I was at work. I didn't have my phone was charging. Anyways, I don't have to explain myself to you.
I know, you really don't.
God. But
I'm like, no, I was literally impressed.
I'm old and smart. God.
I was literally impressed.
No, but this guy, like, started a completely different life, like, left his family, and then when he passed away, they, like, I mean, this shit happens all the time, like, but it's like, where is your conscience? But anyway,
I'm not gonna lie, I have a family member who, when he passed away, they realized he had a second wife and children.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's like the episode we did in Italy, that case where that guy had, like...
Oh, yeah. Giuseppe?
Yeah. Giuseppe!
Oh, yeah. When Giuseppe had his business aired from the grave.
God.
Sorry, rest in peace, Giuseppe. Rest in peace. Seriously.
Jeez. All right.
He's literally, like, looking up at us like, you fucking asshole.
He is.
I shouldn't say looking up.
You guys.
I don't mean like he's in hell.
Whoa.
I meant looking down.
Who are you kidding? He's in the elevator with Jimmy. Okay, guys. Sorry. Just so you know, we're recording at Jackie's. And there is an elevator over there.
We talked about the elevator.
And that's where Jimmy lives.
Jimmy does.
All right. So, did Hemmy go into witness protection, possibly? Who knows? Or
I feel like if he would witness, don't they like kind of just like try to absolve that previous life as much as they can? Like, do you think they would? Well, maybe they would stage it and leave the belongings like he had went first woman died.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay.
I don't know. Did he maybe meet this one? This one speaks to my heart a little bit. Did he meet? This is also just the true crime buff in me, guys. But did he maybe meet with foul play? You know, he had lady friends. He had a previous wife. He had a
did
fiance.
Did he make a girl real mad? Is what you're saying?
I said, could someone have hurt him?
I mean, you're saying, did he make a girl real mad?
Okay, did he make her mad?
Okay, guys, this is why you don't fucking cheat.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding.
But really, though, that to me was like,
Steven's still
okay.
not listening.
The most, I mean, and then, you know, there's always the most probable assumption is, did he drown? You know, like, could he have possibly drowned and they just didn't find his body? That happens all the time. We know.
Absolutely, especially in bodies of water like that, you know.
Yeah. So, here's the kicker to this whole story, guys, that I wanted to share with you is this story is close to me because this happened to my first cousin, Donna. Donna is the daughter of Hemmy, and she's a girl who never met her father. So I'm raising awareness for her right now.
Oh my Lord, have I ever met Donna?
She is, yes, I think so, but my family is
it
extremely large.
ago.
So
your family is
and
big.
we were, to be fair, sorry, Donna, she's a little bit older than we are. So you probably met her, but you just, you know her if you saw her. But anyway.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
So, she started looking for him in her 20s, and she found bits and pieces of him, but she didn't have much to go on. You know, like I said, mystery man. Rose, her mother, had told her that he was kind of like private. Like he would kind of, which I'm like, Hemmy, I've heard this story before from guys. I've dated your type. But like he...
That's my type.
That's my type. Oh, God. Steven's like, what the fuck?
Steven's still not listening.
Okay.
Literally, he's not listening.
That's fine. So, anyway, he's tuning you out, Jackie. He's tuning you out. Me. So, you know, like I said, he kept things kind of mysterious. He told Rose, you know, like, because of the Air Force, he couldn't, you know, I couldn't reveal this because the Air Force, whatever.
Oh, like he's
I'm
on
just saying,
secret
like,
missions.
yes, I'm like, come on, Hemmy.
Okay.
But, you know, which made it obviously like harder for her to locate him. And, you know, like I need to mention, this is like pre-Facebook, pre-social media. This is,
I know.
you
Can you
the
guys
70s,
imagine having to look
like,
shit up in a local telephone book?
Yeah, like,
I mean,
also his last name is Moore. Like that's pretty common. And
yeah.
so she ended up finding him on Ancestry.com. Actually, she searched every night and a name popped up. Peggy, well, she obviously submitted her DNA, and then because she was really, really trying to find her dad.
Oh
like, she
my
wanted
gosh.
to know where she came from, and a name popped up when she, you know, submitted her DNA, Peggy Moore. And obviously she knew Moore was the last name of her father, so she messaged her, but didn't hear back for a while. It took 9 days. Every night she learned more and more that she kept, you know, getting on. She would stay up late trying to figure this out. She said, she goes, I know it's a little corny, but I was praying about it, and I kept praying and praying. And one day she woke up, and there was a yellow feather in the middle of her kitchen, like on the floor. And she was like, you know, it could have been, you know, she was like, it could have been, you know, like it could have been the dogs brought it in, whatever. But like shortly after that happened, she was able to figure out who Hemmy was, and she spent the years connecting with her family.
wow.
After that, like she ended up getting in touch with her aunt, and her aunt, you know, gave her a little information, and then her uncle gave her more information, and it just kind of trickled down, and she ended up finding out everything that she needed to know. By this experience, it helped her mourn the loss of her father. Donna was able to meet her the entire family that was alive, and learn about what happened to her father 3 years ago in Chapel Hill, Tennessee.
Wow.
Donna has since went to Mill Creek to visit the area where her dad disappeared 46 years ago. Sorry, it's like almost making me a little emotional, guys.
No, how can it not? That's your family.
Yeah, and so, and in addition to reconnecting with her family, she had Hemmy put into NamUs. Do you know what NamUs
yes.
is?
Well, I don't know exactly. I know that on one of our previous stories we have
it's like a missing persons
database.
Yes.
Yes.
So she discovered that after 46 years, he still had not been listed as a missing person.
Which is great. Like,
yeah.
That's crazy.
Donna and Hemmy's uncle had DNA swabs done, or taken, and combined as one, and that became the profile for Hemmy. And it's been a year, and it takes a long time, but they will with COVID and everything, it's going to take even longer, but they're going to run that through CODIS. So I'm like,
oh my god.
We shall see if you're out there, Hemmy.
So like, let's say,
Hemmy.
But the crazy thing is, let's say Hemmy did start a new life, had other kids, and if they have done like ancestry or anything like that, it would hit. It'd be matched.
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
I think we're gonna, there's a chance that we might get some updates. But
wow.
I go on to say, wow. This is a quote from Donna. It says, quote, "I found it deeply disturbing he was not listed as a missing person at Mill Creek or a missing person in general. So for all these years, he has just been not searched for," unquote.
And that kind of brings into question, like, I'm not saying his fiance, because I don't think my theories are not including her, but it's like, if she didn't get him listed as a missing person, it's like, did she think that maybe this was part of like, kind of like something he could do? Like, he just, like, I can see him doing that. Like, was it something in his personality?
She did mention that, like, his mother, she didn't think that his mother could, like, bear the thought of him being dead, so they just didn't, she thinks that might have been part of it, but, like, it's not okay. Like,
but that is crazy, because even if he had, because he had siblings, so if even their kids, like, have registered, that is just crazy. I'm so, like, what if? I hope they get a hit sometime soon.
I know. So I asked Donna what her gut told her about his disappearance, and she said that her gut says he is gone. But she's torn. She thinks maybe he started a new life due to trying to run, or trying to turn his life around, and that maybe the only way to start over, after, having passed with drugs, like I said earlier, maybe he was, trying to run from something. It's, we have no idea. Like,
that's just crazy.
But she said she can't imagine, based on what she knows, that he would walk away from his family that he was so close to and loved so much.
Like the woman he was about to marry.
Yes, and his parents and his uncles, like his mother, like she just doesn't understand about, like how that could happen, and his family doesn't either. So I don't know, but it's a tough call. I feel like we just may never know with this case, but who knows
until
DNA.
Until those DNA hits start happening. Ooh, I am excited for when that happens. But you're right, because of COVID, things are probably so backed up.
And it's going to be a long, and naturally, like, we have a lot of shit going on right now that we got to take care of, but this is definitely important, and in no way, shape, or form am I downplaying that. But Donna's son, you want to hear something fucking crazy?
There's crazier more. There's more crazy. Okay.
Donna's son, Jeffrey, who is like my second cousin, I think.
Yeah.
He's like a spitting image of his granddaddy, Hemmy.
Oh, wow.
Donna said, quote, "She may never know her father, Hemmy, but she knows he lives on through her and her children."
Oh.
Hemmy was 5'11" with brown hair, blue eyes, and he had freckles. He would be 75 today if alive. I just want to thank Donna for her courage and all her information she provided, and I hope that we can get her answers for Hemmy's whereabouts.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know we joke, and
we love you, Donna. You're a rock star.
Yeah, we joke stuff, but truly, I really hope that they're, especially with these ancestry and 23andMe, I hope something comes up that can help her kind of in the right direction, that hopefully maybe one day she will find her dad.
But I'm going to ask Danny to grab our shots, because I told her that we're going to do a shot for Hemmy. So grab them whiskeys, guys.
Oh, God.
Well, Jackie and I are
all
going to
of
do
a sudden,
vodka.
you know what's weird? Nothing does Steven ever look over. I look over when there are whiskey shots. Steven's like,
In the freezer.
in the freezer.
Oh, my God. Where they should be. Cold and ready.
Oh, my Lord. Steven, are you going to do this? Yeah, you got to do it.
I can't do Jack anymore.
Oh, Steven's too fancy for Jack now.
Oh, don't do it then. Drink something else.
Oh.
Can I bring my own shot?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, bring your own shot.
I can't do that. Okay.
We're
Okay.
doing them for Hemmy and hopefully for
You
him
might have to crop some of this.
to find.
Oh, my God. I'm going to Ralph.
Well, I'm not drinking the whole. Do we have to drink the whole thing?
We can just, no, we're just going to.
I'm like, we're so old. We don't know how to take shots anymore.
So this is the fam bam, guys. All right, here we go.
Cheers.
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 Ooh.
To Hemmy.
Tammy.
And
All right. Woo. So,
Okay.
oh my God.
Well, no, wow, number one, I'm really upset with you because you never told me the story. Number two.
I didn't know it.
Number two, that's just crazy, and I
Yeah.
really do hope, like, for your cousin, I hope she keeps us up to date on anything
Oh,
she finds
she will.
out. And I don't know, maybe since it is closer to home, maybe we can help and
Yeah, absolutely.
do some type of research.
Yeah, I
mean,
want to definitely follow up on this if we, in any way, shape, or form that we can just give updates, we will.
Absolutely.
But,
I would love, you guys, I would love to quit my job and do this forever. No, I'm kidding.
Forever,
I mean,
ever.
I'm not kidding, but if you're a part of my job, then I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Danny, cut that shit. All right.
I heard
so,
the manager's real cool where I work.
Oh,
Okay,
I
are we
love
ready?
my job. I love my job.
What time is it?
What time is it? Danny, what time is it?
It's my favorite.
Are you going to say it? Danny, come over here and say it, and then I do it. Just do it.
No,
And now it's time for a drunken debauchery.
Danny is the best at audio.
Yeah. We got to improvise, y'all. We got to improvise.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So what you got today?
This one's coming. This is a good one. This is a listener submission from a gal named Jenny.
Oh,
That's her
Jenny,
real name.
Jenny.
That's her real name.
Jenny.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
This isn't even a fake name. Usually we make fake names for the people, but
Jenny
this is a real
doesn't
name.
care.
No, I know.
I love
That's
it.
why I like your
I
style,
love it,
Jenny,
Jenny.
already. She says, so this happened the summer after my sophomore year at Creighton. I was on a family vacation in the Ozarks with my parents, my brother, and his now wife. One night we were playing games, drinking, having fun. I didn't remember anything too out of the ordinary happening. Okay.
Famous last words.
Oh, that's true. That's how all the worst nights start. But the next morning, I come out of my room into the living room. My mom was in there. I said, "Good morning, Mom." And she just glares at me and she goes, "Jennifer," insert my full name there because that's what she called me by. So Jenny goes, "Yeah?" Mom goes, "Do you remember what happened last night?" I didn't think I had blacked out or anything. So then I started panicking, like, what the fuck did I do? Okay, first of all, Jenny, I totally am with you there.
Jackie can relate.
How many mornings I wake up like, shit, and then I have to ooh, was I a good person or a bad person yesterday? It's not funny, but it's funny when it's not happening.
It's true.
To me. Okay, so Jenny says, apparently we had all gone to bed, but then a little bit later I came in my parents' room and they're like, "Jenny, are you okay?" And I go, "I gotta pee." I then proceed to go into their closet and start to pull my pants down, like I'm going to pee on their stuff. Like, who is you, R. Kelly?
It reminds me of a few episodes back, the Ann Miller Cut Your Head Off.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about.
Um,
Or your head's on a box. Is
yes,
that what it is?
yes,
I don't know.
yes.
Sorry. Not cut
No,
your
it
head
is
off.
Ann Miller, and it is a head in a box.
Okay.
Not to be confused with Justin Timberlake, Dick in a Box. Not to be confused.
No.
They're two different things. So Jenny says, so my dad darts out of bed to grab me and take me to the bathroom. This must have pissed me off because I start yelling and cursing. I'm like, "Fuck you, Dad. God
Whoa,
damn it. Let me
whoa,
fucking
whoa.
pee. Fuck, fuck, fuck." Oh, I'm into it.
I can't even.
So he's leading me across the kitchen to take me back to my room, and I pull away from him, go over to the
Whoa.
dishwasher,
Whoa.
pull the dishwasher door down, sit on it, and pee.
What the fuck? Oh my God.
mostly when I read this, I was like, but did you break the dishwasher door? Like, they're not very durable. She said, I even
man.
reached up and grabbed a paper towel to wipe.
Oh,
Oh, God.
that was good of you.
And this whole time, I'm cursing and yelling at my dad. Then I stand up, pants still around my ankles, and waddle back to my room, still yelling, fuck you
I
to
am
my dad.
like, I can't even think of a time where I would. Oh my God.
First of all, I'm like, I would be mortified if my dad
you
saw
found
my
out?
vagina.
Yeah. all of it. All of it.
What did that picture
fuck?
look like? Jenny and
Well,
her
she
dad
don't
was-
remember. She wasn't there.
No, Jenny, I can't fault you for it, Jenny. I can't fault you. You weren't there.
Oh my God.
She says, I feel like I need to know that I love my dad because the way I was yelling at him makes it sound like I hate him, but I swear that's not the case. So my mom ended up running the dishwasher like 10 times the next morning, and we laughed about the whole thing and went about our vacation.
Wow.
First of all, if that had happened to me, my family would have left that fucking vacation
Oh, for
so
sure.
quick. And
Oh
be like,
my
you know what? I can't
God.
mess with you. You're
I
just
can't.
too nasty.
I am like, that is so, Jenny, thank you. You are so
I
brave
love you,
for
Jenny.
sharing that. That was great. And you
And
must have the nicest fucking family.
That's
to,
what
like,
I was thinking.
recover
I was
from
like,
that.
your family must be like fucking angels, because my family would be like, okay, so how are we going to get Jackie back to Omaha? Because she can't stay here with us.
She's out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or they
that
would have
was
like
great.
left in the middle of the night. Like left me there.
Jackie's like, what had happened? I don't know.
But to
Why is
be,
the dishwasher
to be
open?
fair to Jenny, if
Yeah.
you run a dishwasher multiple times, I'm sure that does get you rid of urine.
Oh my God.
I mean, thank you,
That's
Jenny.
funny. That's
Thank
funny.
You.
Your
Thanks for
your poor dad, man.
And thank
oh
you
my
for
God.
making us laugh. But hopefully, I hope
Yeah.
that, I would be very, I wouldn't even be mad about the urine part. I'd be upset, like, did my dad see my vagina? I'm not into that. I'm not into that.
I can't get down with that. Oh my God. My dad would have fucking just like disowned me. It would have been like, Kimberly, no
Oh,
more.
my dad would have just, like, shamed me for the rest of my life. Like, every time that he spoke to me, he would
Oh
bring it
yeah.
up.
Like,
Mhm.
you remember that fucking time you pissed on the
Yeah.
dishwasher, Jackie?
Like, yeah, Dad, you mentioned it 5 minutes ago.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, fuck you guys.
Okay.
Please.
Well, this is exciting, you guys. This was our first
Yes,
video.
this was our first live video. I hope you guys like it. And
Yeah.
definitely fucking send
to
your stories to
Send
us.
your stories. Give us your likes.
For
You guys,
sure.
it's really lame if we're the only ones liking our own shit.
All right, so send us your stories, guys, and thank you for watching. Thank you
back
for
to us.
listening.
Come back.
To us. Come back.
Holler.
Holler. Bye.
I've got a graduation thing to go to because they have graduation here today. But anyway, Kimmy, thanks so much because this is kind of a big deal for me. Just to get the word out is it means a lot. So I appreciate you doing this. I love you for it. Thank you.